I want to welcome you on behalf of IMSA. A special welcome, of course, to Jim France, to Ed Bennett, and of course to our IMSA stakeholders. Appreciate you making time out of what I know is always a busy, busy evening whenever we're at the racetrack. And my final welcome goes to the IMSA staff that have joined us. I am the one that's fortunate enough to be able to stand up here and announce a lot of things and communicate a lot of news. But there's a very significant team of people that make it all possible for us to do what we do. So I welcome all of you. We do have a lot of ground to cover. Just as David said, we've got a State of the Series address to be given. We have a 2016 schedule to be announced, and perhaps some news. Rather than validation of the already known, we just might, for once, have some real news to share with you this evening. Now, for those that are familiar with an American Le Mans series, State of the Series, you know that those typically were an endurance event in and of themselves, typically lasting more than an hour. Now, tonight, the good news is I'm going to adopt the sprint race format. There will be no co-drivers, no pit stops, and I'm going to be on the gas from the start to the finish. But before we do get started, just a quick review of exactly what makes up the sanctioning body known as the International Motorsports Association, or as most of us refer to it, IMSA. And we are proud to be the sanctioning body of record for both professional and pro-am sports car racing in North America. And while, of course, it's easy to focus on the Tudor Championship, it's the challenge and single make platforms that are central to our makeup and are certainly important. They have important roles in our success. To all of you here tonight that are connected to one or more of those IMSA competitions and IMSA championships that we have, we know that many of you have choices, and we want to convey our appreciation and our thanks for choosing to race with us. So without further delay, let's get things started with a quick review of how things have played out so far this year on track. The competition in the Tudor Championship has been outstanding. You see the stats, I won't read them for you, but 5 different winners in the first 5 races. What a way to start. Multiple teams, multiple cars, multiple tire manufacturers, and more drivers than we can count across all 4 classes have found success already this season. In almost every example, it's been the last turns of the last lap that has decided who's on the podium, just as was the case today in the Continental Tire Challenge race. What an incredible event that was. We have tight battles going on in every class for championships. And there's no doubt in our minds that this is going to carry on through the balance of the season, and it's going to be those last laps at Petit Le Mans that are going to decide who takes home the championship trophies. To say that the quality of the teams and the drivers that compete in the Tudor Championship was on display at Le Mans this year would be an understatement. IMSA-based drivers won overall for Porsche in the LMP1 category, and the stalwart, always favorite Corvette racing team recovered from a very serious accident. It actually eliminated one of their entries to come back and take the win in GT Pro. Bill Sweedler, Townsend Bell, Jeff Siegel earned a very hard-fought and very much deserved podium in GTE Am. And we all witnessed a very strong debut run for Ben Keating, for Jerome Bleakmolen, and Mark Miller in their GTE Am Viper. When the best drivers, the best teams in the world converged on Le Mans this past June, it was the IMSA teams and drivers that took a lot of the hardware and headlines out of France. How about a round of applause for those teams and drivers that did so well for us this year? And when it comes to our plans, our future plans for class configuration, we like to think that we've communicated early and often, but we still continue to get questions about this. So here's a brief recap of where we are today and where we are headed in the future. In prototype, it's status quo through 16. I think that's well known, but there's an incredible new global prototype that's coming in 17. I'm going to touch more on that in a moment. Prototype Challenge, PC. Status quo confirmed through 16. Again, no news there. But we've had some ongoing dialogue with our PC team owners and drivers. It's resulted in some good directional guidance, and in the not distant future, we will be providing final decisions on what the future holds there. In GTLM, New evolutionary technical regulations are set to begin in 16 that will continue to confirm that this class is going to continue to produce outstanding cars. It's going to continue to attract world-class drivers, premium manufacturers. It's an example of don't fix it if it's not broken. GTD. The new FIA GT3 regulations are also set to begin in 16, and with that, we anticipate expanded grids and the attraction of new manufacturers. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that new prototype for 17. It's not possible to accurately describe the positive energy and excitement that surrounds this initiative. The process started, believe it or not, over a year ago, and that's when senior management and the technical teams from IMSA, the ACO, and the FIA got together and began working very closely. First, to define the technical specifications of this new prototype, and then most recently to select the 4 constructors who will build this new global prototype. Now, without question, this whole process has been one of the most thorough and professional that we've ever participated in. It's truly been remarkable. We couldn't be more pleased, though, with the 4 confirmed constructors. Dallara, Multimatic Riley, Onroke, and Orica, each one of them outstanding, each one of them very capable, all committed to providing full service and support to North American-based teams. The new prototype will be eligible to race globally, of course in the Tudor Championship, at Le Mans, and within the European Le Mans Series. Now the ACO P2 spec of this car will compete with a spec powertrain and deliberately no manufacturer involvement. On the other end of that spectrum will be IMSA's approach, which will encourage multiple manufacturer involvement with a wide variety of engine eligibility and the opportunity for participating manufacturers to bring brand-specific design cues into their bodywork. Now, IMSA prototypes will be eligible to race at Le Mans, and European teams will be competing with that ACO P2 spec car will be eligible for all Tudor Championship events. For the IMSA competitors that wish to compete at Le Mans, they can do so with that same car and utilizing that same motor, but they will be required to use the original constructor bodywork. Now, IMSA's technical details as it relates to the bodywork and the engine eligibility are in the final stage of approval and will be issued in the very near future. Now, another question that we're often get is, when are we going to increase the year-end points fund? And the answer is now, in preparation for our 2016 season. A 50% increase has been confirmed, bringing the fund to more than $1.5 million with a purposeful allocation to our Pro-Am classes. When coupled with our event purses and other awards, there will be more than $4 million available to teams competing in the 2016 Tudor Championship, more than any other professional sports car racing championship in the world. And while we would be the first to agree that there is still room to grow in this category, for a championship that does not receive any television rights fees, it represents a very significant point of difference compared to other alternatives, and an area, rest assured, that we will continue to focus on improving. Now, one of the truly positive developments that came out of the merger was the incorporation of our 2 proud charities, Camp Boggy Creek and the Austin Hatcher Foundation. Both are committed to making life better for children and their families that are dealing with very serious medical challenges. IMSA is very proud to be directly involved with both of them, not only in fundraising, that's obviously important and critical, but also participating in hospital and camp visits. If you've ever attended one, you know what I speak of when I say how rewarding and priority resetting those experiences are. We encourage everyone here to continue actively supporting these most worthy partners of ours. Now, moving along to the metrics of our marketing and our media. There's a lot of good news here to report. Now, television continues to be a challenging environment for all but the largest and most established categories of sport. But in our year-over-year results on Fox Sports 1, those results reflect a solid 8% improvement. Another fact that may help you put this into perspective is, on a typical Tudor Championship broadcast, we are consistently in the top 25% of all broadcast, all events, all content on Fox Sports 1 for that programming week. So while we're not happy about where we are, as it relates to Fox Sports 1, we're in pretty good region there. As I've said, we are far from satisfied from our results here, and improving our performance on television will continue to be a top priority. But the good news to take away from this is that we're trending in the right direction. Now, as you can see from the numbers, our digital results, including the live event streaming and the YouTube viewing of our races, are growing rapidly, both in terms of the number of uniques and, equally important, the amount of time that they're spending viewing. Now, IMSA is no different than every other major sport in that we aggressively have a foothold in traditional live television broadcasting, while at the same time having to offer multiple digital options for both live and on-demand viewing. All of this is extraordinarily expensive to create, but all of it, in our case, being done with very high production, quality, and content. And IMSA Radio, to put it bluntly, one of our shining stars, both nationally and internationally. John Hindhoff, Greg Kramer, Jeremy Shaw have done an exceptional job presenting all of our events live, and the fan response has been overwhelming. IMSA Radio, it's available many places, multiple websites, through the IMSA mobile app, on Sirius XM satellite radio. With such connectivity and the ease to be able to find this great signal, there's no wonder that it's become so popular. And speaking of that IMSA mobile app, another great success. Our staff member, Brian Byrwaltis, worked with the geniuses at Microsoft to create a truly benchmark example of a sports app, delivering an industry first with the simultaneous creation of iOS, Android, and Windows formats, all together, all at once. Now, if your other job happens to be a member of the Geek Squad at Best Buy, I'm told that what we've accomplished here that you are very impressed by. So it's good to know. Now, the app delivers user-friendly content and is unmatched in our industry. Live video streaming, live IMSA radio, live timing and scoring, and the ability to customize it to your favorite car, team, driver, brand. There's a special thank you that needs to be made here, and that is to the automotive manufacturing partners that helped us make this possible. In alphabetical order, BMW, Chevrolet, Ford, Mazda, and Porsche. An app of this level of content and sophistication and capability, very expensive, over $500,000 in our example. But with their investments, they made it possible for us to make this app available to our fans for free. So if you have not already downloaded it to your iPhone, your iPad, to your computer, you are missing out on one of the best infotainment experiences there is. And I think everybody in the room tonight already knows, but we are fortunate to have more true automotive partners than any other professional motorsports platform. A grid full of premium manufacturers who are actively engaged with factory-backed teams. They're providing technical support, consumer marketing activation, all racing what they sell and benefiting from the direct link that we provide with relevant technology transfer from the racetrack to road cars and related applications. And of course, while we're honored to have so many automotive partners, we're also fortunate to have attracted many iconic lifestyle brands. From elegant timepieces to premium coffee, we have a diverse mix of category-leading brands. Our newest additions, as you can see highlighted, include DECRA, which has been a great addition as our official technical certification partner. They have brought a whole new level of inspection expertise to IMSA's scrutineering process. Ingersoll Rand, just on board as our official power tool, and Konica Minolta has expanded their involvement from Wayne Taylor Racing to now also be our official business solutions partner, as well as branding the Konica Minolta Business Center in our paddock, chock full of brand new state-of-the-art office machines for your use as well. So looking ahead, now there's a lot more in this category than we possibly have time to cover tonight, but here's some of the highlights of what you can expect from us going forward in 16. Now for anyone who's ever renovated a house, you know how important it is to take that before picture. And that's what you're looking at. You're looking at the before picture from Daytona International Speedway. And here's the after. Isn't that amazing? It's not done yet, but what you're looking at is a completed section of the $400 million Daytona Rising project, a comprehensive reimagining of some of the most hallowed ground in sports. We will all have the good fortune of being able to participate in the grand opening of this spectacular new motorsports stadium with the 54th running of the Rolex 24 at Daytona, just 175 days from right now. And in case you were wondering if this stunning new facility is generating any interest among our fans regarding that 2016 Rolex, track president Joey Chitwood is here with us tonight. I spoke to him earlier. He shared with me a couple of sound bites, and I'm going to share them with you now. Advanced ticket sales, up 29% from the same point last year. Reserved RV infield camping, sold out. Reserved infield tent camping, sold out. General infield car parking, sold out. Get the idea? It sounds like a textbook example of build it and they will come. So Joey, congratulations to you, to your team. We can't wait to see the finished product and help you with your grand opening next January. So looking ahead to what we can expect on our grids. By now, everyone is aware, as mentioned before, that the GTD category, GT Daytona, is evolving to embrace the FIA GT3 technical regulations. And with that, we do expect an expansion of entries and the return of many, and hopefully all of our existing manufacturers, and the debut of some new ones. Now, as always, it's never our news to announce, but I'm confident that in the not distant future, some of these TBA, to be announced segments there, will have some very impressive logos filling in. Now in the GTLM class, the buzz and the energy has never been stronger with the global racing debut of the new Ford GT, confirmed for that to occur at Daytona this coming January. The GTLM class has always been populated by world-class teams, cars, and drivers, and manufacturers, of course, and it has always produced great racing. But I think we would all agree that that bar is about to be raised. So, ladies and gentlemen, in 3,164 words, I've just provided you with a very brief and condensed look at the state of the series, and a preview of what we can all look forward to in 2016 and beyond. I want to take a moment to close with some important words. There's a lot for us to be proud of. There's a lot for us to be happy about. I'm at times accused of being too optimistic. Make no mistake. Our heads are not in the clouds. We don't have the rose-colored glasses on. We do know that there's still some heavy lifting to be done. We've got a lot of work still to be done, some improvements to be made across all aspects of our business. The merger process that we went through, without question, the most difficult and challenging period for all of us. But that's behind us. The days of difficult and sometimes frustrating compromises, of adjustments, trying to incorporate Grand Am and LMS specifications into a single class, all of that is about to be replaced with new, unified global specifications that will usher in new cars, new manufacturers, and a whole new era for professional sports car racing in North America. Collectively, all of us have come a long way in the past 2 years. The underpinnings of IMSA, the organization, the people behind it, have never been stronger, have never been better resourced, and without sounding overly confident, we believe it's a great time for all of us to be involved. And we believe that our collective futures here have never been brighter. And we hope that you agree. And with that, we're going to shift gears. And we're going to focus on exactly when and where and what we'll be racing in 2016. So now you know where we're going, and here's some details. So I'm going to go through this quickly. Stay up with me if you can. As has already been stated, we're going to kick things off at Daytona with the grand opening of Daytona Rising, round one of the Tequila Patron North American Endurance Cup, and also, of course, the opening round of the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. We'll return to Sebring International Raceway in March for the 64th running of the Mobil 1 12 Hours of Sebring, fueled by Fresh from Florida, also round two of the Patron Endurance Cup. April 16th puts us back on the streets of Long Beach, this time with the PC class joining us along with Prototype and our GTLM. I expect Paul Gentilossi to stand up and give us a standing ovation right now. Yeah. Thank you. Just saying. The last days of April and the 1st of May will take us back to Monterey and Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, where again all four classes and the Continental Tire Challenge, among others, will be on the schedule. June 3 and 4 puts us back in the Motor City in beautiful Belle Isle with the Prototypes, our PC class, and GTD, giving our GTLM teams the opportunity that we have in recent years to go prepare for Le Mans. Go prepare to dominate Le Mans again, I should say. After a short break to enable many of our teams and drivers to do just that, do what they do best at Le Mans, we will relaunch the second half of our season on the 4th of July weekend. That'll be at Watkins Glen. It will also be round three of the Patron Endurance Cup there as well. Now, due to the way that the 2016 calendar dates fall, in order to maintain the date equity and also the event cadence, we will be immediately traveling north after Watkins Glen to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park for a four-class championship round July 9th and 10th. And you see back to all four categories there, all four classes again. Now, after a well-deserved couple of weeks off, we'll be back in action again July 23rd at the new and very much improved Lime Rock Park. This time, enhanced by the inclusion of GTLM. And if you were not with us a couple of weeks ago at Lime Rock, you don't know what I'm referring to, but you will be very pleasantly surprised when you go there again for the first time. 1 year from this weekend, we will return to Elkhart Lake and Road America for another great weekend of world-class sports car racing. George, the facility, as always, never looked better. The addition of those new permanent HD screens, just the latest addition, we say to you, well done. August 20 and 21 puts us back at VIR with our GTLM and GTD classes. So once again, the GT categories being the stars of the show that weekend, joined, of course, by the Continental Tire Challenge, other IMSA single-make content. If you're a fan of the best GT racing in North America, make your plans now. We're back in Austin, Texas at the Circuit of the Americas, along with our friends from the World Endurance Championship on September 16th and 17th. Of course, as has been the case the last couple of years, the combination of the IMSA content and WEC platforms together on the same weekend makes this a must-be-at event for people across the country. And finally, we close out the season with our now traditional finale of Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta. Round 12 of the Tudor Championship, round 4 of the Tequila Patron North American Endurance Cup, with a 10-hour endurance race that will no doubt determine the championships across all classes yet again. So that's the schedule for 2016. If you were keeping track, it delivers 11 events for all classes except Prototype. Once again, I would like to extend my personal thanks and appreciation to our promoter partners for their cooperation and hard work in enabling us to announce this schedule so early with such outstanding lineups of venues and events. It's very difficult to put a schedule together to announce it in the traditional time of year of October and November. There's a lot of moving parts, local conflicts, the dates on the calendar change, TV situations come up. It's tough to do it in October and November. It's extremely difficult to do it the first week of August. But we believe that the pain involved in that process is worth the gain by enabling all of us to make firm plans and commitments for next year. As stated in the media release that will go out tonight in conjunction with this news, we could not be more pleased. We believe we're the first major motorsports entity of any description to announce a full 16 schedule, and that's something I hope we can all benefit from. So normally, this would be the end of our presentation. You've heard a brief update on the state of the series. You now know the 2016 schedule, but stealing a line from the late, great Steve Jobs, but wait, there's one more thing. And with that, I'd like to bring our CEO, Ed Bennett, to the stage. Ed?
Good evening. Thank you, Scott, as always, for the update, for your tireless hard work and dedication to IMSA and our loyal paddock. Well, you now have an update on IMSA, and you know the 2016 schedule. I have the honor tonight of sharing some other additional exciting news. Competition is the core of any motorsports platform. However, to grow our fan base, you need strong marketing partners. The Rolex relationship with IMSA, the France family, and Daytona goes back to the late 50s. Rarely do you have business partners who truly become family, but that's the case with Rolex. Rolex first added the name Daytona to the dial of its Cosmograph line in 1962, the price of choice for both Daytona and Le Mans. They were the entitlement partners everyone knows of the Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series, and earlier this year they announced with Rolex a 10-year extension of their partnership with the Daytona International Speedway to serve as the primary sponsor of the Rolex 24 Daytona. 10 years. Very few commitments like that in motorsports or sports in general exist, but tonight we're going to add 2 more to that rare list. I'm pleased to announce that Rolex has extended its partnership for 10 years with Sebring International Raceway for the famous 12-hour event as well, putting their iconic stamp on 2 outstanding endurance races here at home that also ignite the IMSA season every year. Additionally, we have also extended our relationship with Tudor for the next 10 years through at least 2025. They will serve as the official timepiece of IMSA. We're thrilled to have them on board for everything that they do and have done, and we're proud to have them for another decade. Thank you, Rolex and Tudor. Clearly, the long-term commitments that Rolex and Tudor are providing our motorsports platforms, both with IMSA and our key events, speaks to the close historical ties, as well as their confidence in the future of IMSA and all involved. Now, with the relaunch of the Tudor brand in the United States behind them, it's actually time to shift gears. Fantastic. Therefore, without further ado, I would like to bring up, and I'm putting it mildly here, a passionate member of our paddock, a brilliant entrepreneur and marketer, and a good friend to all of us, the founder and CEO of WeatherTech, Mr. David McNeil, and his son, Cooper.
I am proud to announce that WeatherTech will become the entitlement partner in 2016 for the
IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship.
We want this to be the new golden era of sports car racing in America. And I want WeatherTech to be a big part of it. It is my intention to use our marketing horsepower to elevate the awareness of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship to the general public. We want to increase our fan base for the betterment of the teams, all the sponsors, and finally the drivers. I want the drivers to be recognized for what they do and how good they really are. Speaking of the drivers, I want the public to understand and appreciate the fact that our drivers are world-class athletes and deserve full recognition for the physical nature of running 24 hours at Daytona or 12 hours at Sebring. Last year, Cooper and Jerome, because of a variety of circumstances, had the run in GT Pro at Le Mans, just two drivers, 24 hours, 11 hours, and 13 hours respectively. And I was very proud that both of them dug deep and got it done and came in fifth. I've been personally involved in sports car racing as a competitor and an entrant since 1979. I want to work with IMSA, the manufacturers, the promoters, and the teams to help collectively grow the audience of sports car racing in America. Please allow me to steal a line from our core business. American professional sports car racing done right. Thank you.